today's guest, and we have a pleasure to have Mike Conley. Mike is a co-founder and partner of Kenney and Conley. And Mike, thank you for coming on the show and telling us about your practice.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. You've really developed a strong practice over the years in personal injury. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. My partner, Paul Kenney, and I, we started off doing some other things and decided together that what we really wanted to do was help folks, one person, one family at a time, in a way that was really tangible. And so we started working for regular people, doing personal injury cases for catastrophically affected families.
Now, can you tell us you do a number of areas of personal injury. Can you break it down for us and our audience?
Well, sure. I mean, and any area of personal injury has several layers of sophistication to it. So I mean, when we talk about an auto accident case, I mean, auto accident case can be anything from a rear end collision with a whiplash, which is itself significant, up to a major truck accident with catastrophic consequences, whether it's paraplegia or death. And with all of that is we've developed some expertise in insurance coverage because when you have somebody who's terribly injured, you need to be able to find the sources to get their bills paid. I like to talk about premises liability and product liability together, because in each case what you have is normal people doing normal things, interacting with either the physical world or a physical thing that has a danger, whether it's a preventable or hidden danger in it, whether it's a bad stairway or a bad stairway without a railing, or a product or saw without a guard. And to me, those feel like the same kinds of cases, because we have institutional or business defendants who have allowed needless danger that then end up hurting a working person or a family.
So do you have a team that you, like a team of go-tos when you evaluate a case? Because, like as you say, trying to evaluate it financially, plus obviously you have to, in a lot of cases because people have immediate bills that need to be taken care of, you sometimes have to finance part of that, right? In terms of in advance of the case, correct?
No, we can't finance anything. But we finance the case.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So for example, if, we're all contingent fee work, which means we only get paid when we win. We get a percentage. And if it's a case that we're willing to undertake, we're also willing to finance the case, which functions as a loan to the file, an interest-free loan to the file, which then comes back at the end of the case if we're successful. If we pick the wrong case, we lose our time, or if we pick the wrong jury, we can lose our time and whatever we've invested in a case. So we've got to be alert to that at the outset when you're opening a file.
The law has changed, I know, in your profession now too, right? With personal injury attorneys, it's maybe it's driven by economics or maybe statutes, in terms of jury verdicts. Do you find when you're trying to negotiate on behalf of your client with the insurance companies, it's more of a challenge today, or do you find that it's still a continuum in terms of the past?
Well, I think that there's a lot of factors that are in play, and most people who've been doing this as long as we have would recognize that let's say the jury pool is different now than it was in the 1980s. My partner would describe it this way. He would say, when we started this, the people would come to the jury service saying, how can we help this person? And in post-Reagan juries, he would say they come saying, why should we help this person? And that's something that's a real challenge for the entire plaintiff's bar, because until very recently, we didn't have the tools that we needed to identify jurors who were carrying bias into the jury box that worked against our folks. But I would say generally in trial practice as a whole, the lawyers didn't have the tools they needed in Massachusetts to really get a fair jury for both sides.